sure it's plugged in good to that.
Whenever you ready, I'm gonna start it back up.
No sweat. I think it's back up on YouTube. It's already back. You clicked the start streaming, right? It said it was back up. Let me see. Yeah, we back up already. All right, y'all. Let me make sure we good on Facebook real quick. Salakia. All right, Most High in Christ. Hey, Salakia about that. Yeah, we had some technical difficulties. Computer didn't shut off on us. All right, so we back up and running. All right, so now we waiting on the precept for keeping the Sabbath day. All right, and that's found in Exodus. You got it already, Ron? It's in Exodus chapter 20.
Book of Exodus chapter 20, verse 8.
Mm-hmm.
Remember the Sabbath day to keep it holy.
Mm-hmm.
Verse 9. 6 days shalt thou labor and do all thy work.
Mm-hmm.
Verse 10. But the seventh day is the Sabbath of the Lord thy God. In it thou shalt not do any work. Thou nor thy son, nor thy daughter, thy manservant, nor thy maidservant, nor thy cattle, nor thy stranger that is within thy gates.
So it's talking about 6 days shalt thou labor, meaning you have all the week to do your work. You understand what I'm saying? This is talking about slavery. This is talking about servile work. You have all week to do your servile work, meaning going to your slavery, going to, we are in captivity. So, I mean, if you have to work on a Sabbath, it's because you're being forced to. You understand what I'm saying? Because we're in captivity. That's why we call it a slavery and not a job, because you're still in captivity. But let's say, if you don't have to work on that day, don't work on that day. You understand? We're talking about servile work. We ain't talking about, doing the Lord's work. We're talking about anything servile work, meaning you're a servant. You're metro bus driver. You work in the supermarket. You're a security guard. Whatever it is, you understand what I'm saying? If it's servile work, if you don't have to work on the Sabbath, don't do it. But if you do have to, you're being forced. So that's not, what I'm saying? That's you in your captivity. Keep going.
Verse 11. For in 6 days the Lord made heaven and earth,
Mm-hmm.
the sea, and all that in them is, and rested the seventh day. Wherefore the Lord blessed the Sabbath day and hallowed it.
Right. He made it holy. He made it separate. You understand what I'm saying? The seventh day, which is Friday sundown to Saturday sundown, he made that separate. You understand? He hallowed it. All right. Let's go back to Leviticus. And we're going to pick up at verse 4.
Verse 4. These are the feasts of the Lord, even holy convocations, which ye shall proclaim in their seasons.
So now we finna go into the feast days. You understand? The Sabbath is a holy convocation, but now let's talk about this feast. Let's talk about this feast day and their holy convocations as well. All right. So what does it talk about the first one? Let's go.
In the 14th day of the first month.
In the 14th day of the first month, meaning as soon as the new year start, count 14 days. Go ahead.
At even is the Lord's Passover.
At even, meaning at sundown. At sundown on that 14th day, it's what?
It's the Lord's Passover.
It's the Lord's Passover. You understand what I'm saying? And listen, the Passover for 2020 is still postponed, but listen, Passover is one of the most glorious get-togethers, you know what I'm saying, in all Israel, and it's always been like that all throughout the scriptures. You understand what I'm saying? And it's still to that day the UPK upholds that tradition of, you understand, of old, of ancient, and it is so glorious because everybody come together from all over. You understand? We go into headquarters and we find a spot down there in New York, and we do it big. And every year we got to get a bigger venue. because we got more and more brothers and sisters getting into this truth, and we're growing, and it be brothers coming all over from UK and, you know, Brazil and Nicaragua and wherever they at, you understand, all over the states, you understand, Texas and Chicago and Cali and North Carolina, South Carolina, Florida, Atlanta, you understand, Oregon, Washington, all of these, DC, all of these different places. I probably name, like, DC is Washington, but y'all get the point, right? You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like all of Las Vegas. What else? I really don't want to. I don't want to leave nobody. Louisiana. I don't want to. Mississippi, Tennessee, Memphis. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think that is Tennessee. I don't want to miss nobody, but everybody understands we come from all over, and we all meet up in one spot just like we've always done. You understand what I'm saying? We come together and we eat lamb and, you know what I'm saying, drink wine, and, you know, it just we break bread, and it'd be a glorious thing. And it's a law to keep this. It is the law to do it. And it's wonderful. Why wouldn't you want to do it? And another reason why we did it, especially in our captivity in Egypt, what happened? Why did we keep the Passover? What was one of the main significant things of keeping the Passover that happened? What is it like celebrating? Go ahead.
It's celebrating when the Lord killed all of the firstborn children of Egypt.
Right.
And whoever didn't put the lamb's blood over the
right. Of course, because only the Israelites that's our custom. So that's how the death angels knew to pass over the Israelites, because they had that blood of that lamb on that doorpost. You understand what I'm saying? And it's such a glorious thing. I remember last Passover, while we was inside of the venue that we was in, the Lord had killed so many people. I can't remember the report, but it was something that happened where a lot of people had got killed. It was like, I don't know if it was a freak accident. I don't know what it was, but we were safe. You understand? Everybody that was inside that Passover was safe. You understand? And that's what's so significant. The Lord will kill our enemies if we follow our traditions and customs and law, statutes, and commandments of this Bible. That's why it's so important to keep these days. That's why it's important to keep these feast days and holy convocations, because it is law. And that's why we're discussing it today. You understand? Keep reading.
Verse 6. And on the 15th day of the same month is the feast of unleavened bread unto the Lord. So now, on the 15th day of the same month, starting on, so the day after the Passover, you understand, the same month, it starts what? The feast of unleavened bread unto the Lord. 7 days must ye eat unleavened bread. So for 7 days, from that 15 days, 7 days after that, you have to eat unleavened bread. What's unleavened? Anything that doesn't have leaven in it. Anything that doesn't contain leaven. So now, are there some, I believe, let me make sure I'm correct when I say this. Hold on. Let's see. Okay, so now, yeast is a form of leavening. It's a leavening agent, but not just yeast. So leavening is not just limited to yeast. Any leavening agent used is unlawful during the Feast of Unleavened Bread. Everybody understands? Now, there's a way to make bread or cake or any baking goods without leaven. You understand? So that's what you want to do. You want to, if you know, we got some beautiful sisters in the school. Obviously Yawasab's rib, Napath. You understand what I'm saying? She knows how to bake unleavened. The sisters, really, we got sisters down. It's all the sisters in the UPK know how to bake it, because obviously, you understand what I'm saying? It is our customs. I just named, you know, I know she has a bakery, and she's really famous for making sweets and stuff, you know, cakes and cookies and all these things, and she has unleavened recipes. But we have, I don't want to discredit, you know, sisters, don't get on me for that. I don't want to discredit any of my sisters all over the UPK, because they all know how to make wonderful food and know how to bake unleavened stuff, because they're princesses, and that's what the UPK breeds. You understand what I'm saying? All right, and it's a wonderful thing to have that too. It's a wonderful thing to have a sister to say Khan out of one Khan and can make you some unleavened biscuits from scratch, or some unleavened cake, or some unleavened cookies,
on unleavened bread during these days, because Lord knows the brothers need it. We don't be knowing what the hell to do. It's unleavened during the Feast of Unleavened Bread. Look, I remember my first time celebrating and going to the Passover, and it was like damn near everywhere I go, I didn't know what to order because everything had leaven in it. I was like, damn, I can't eat this. And I remember one thing I ordered, Officer DeBar Mahath. He was right there, and Most High in Christ, he was there. He was like, he sent Officer Lamont, tapped me on my shoulder. I was about to eat it too. I'm talking about I was just about to eat it. I think we was at Applebee's. And I'm like, I'm about to go in. And I get a tap on the shoulder. I look, I'm like, hey, Salaki, sir, it's your return. You know what I'm saying? He's like, hey, it's leaven in that. You can't eat that. I was like, dang. You know what I mean? But Most High in Christ, though, because that's brotherhood. It's an awesome thing. Now, come to find out, Applebee's, at least that Applebee's or that particular dish, they didn't use, flour. They actually used unleavened. I think it was some type of unleavened. I don't think they used flour. I can't exactly remember what it was, but they didn't use leavening agent. At least that's what we said. Like, we went through a whole thing, because I spent a lot of, Applebee's ain't cheap unless you do the 2 for $20, but, money was spent. You understand? And I was like, dang, man, y'all gonna have to, I need my money back or something. We're gonna have to make a new dish or something. But then they went back and brought the whole, looked at the thing, and it was like, okay, there ain't no yeast, and it was good to go. But the point of that is, it's a vehicle out there. Look like they just kind of just posted up. You know what I'm saying? You want to watch that. At the end of the day, grab that flashlight too, out. Double time. At the end of the day, it's like, you need that brotherhood, because without that, then we would be committing all type of sin. You understand what I'm saying? And brotherhood is a weapon. And I'm thankful for those brothers. I'm thankful for all my brothers in the UPK. You understand? And you know what? And speaking on that, I just want to take the time out to say, you know what I'm saying, my condolences going out to Officer MACHAATAZA's family. You know what I'm saying? The brothers that warred with him directly in the Carolinas, you know what I'm saying, for the brothers that actually got a chance to meet him that was at Atlanta, you know what I'm saying, I hate that I wasn't able to meet the brother, you know what I'm saying. Of course, we built a relationship through social media, you know what I'm saying, we were cool on social media, but I really wish I could have met that brother in person. But I tell you one thing, his spirit definitely lives on in every brother in this school. Right. You know what I'm saying, and we're going to make sure we keep his name alive by continuing to strike through with everything that we do. You know what I'm saying? The brother name is MACHAATAZA. It means to strike through, and I'm gonna make it my duty to strike through with everything that I do. You know what I'm saying? To make sure his name live on, and if I can be an inspiration to my brothers around me, so that they can strike through and follow through with orders and do what they need to do, and carry out the same and have that same zeal that brother displayed in the short time that he was in this truth. You know what I'm saying? He done such an awesome job, and he put this work first. This truth was his only wife. You understand what I'm saying? And that's the type of spirit that we need on all these brothers. You know what I'm saying? So may he rise again. Most High in Christ, for that brother to bless us with his presence for the short time that he was here. You understand? And that's a testament, man. We all need to understand and realize that, anytime, we have to work like we have a short time, because we don't know when Christ is coming back. We don't know that day, when that day is that we, when it's our time. At the end of the day, we must, work, and we build this kingdom up for because we're working for the kingdom. That's what we want. We're working to make sure everything is intact and in order when our King Yahushua comes. You understand what I'm saying? That's the least we can do for him. All right? And so I just wanted to speak on that while we was on the subject. You know what I'm saying? May that brother rise again, man. That powerful priest and officer, man. May he rise again. And shout out to the brothers in Carolina. Shout out to all the brothers that traveled, you know what I'm saying, far and wide to go to Carolina to see that brother off with an honorable, you know what I'm saying, service. And, and listen, that brother, like every brother in the school, every UPK warrior should want to go out like that. Like a warrior, like that was an honorable way to go. You understand what I'm saying? Holding post, giving up his life for his friends. That was that was warrior like. And I pray that I can have that same the same way, can happen to me. Like I want to go out like a warrior. You understand what I'm saying? And that's what we all should want. It's an amazing thing to be in this truth, and this brotherhood is amazing. And we just like the generals were saying, like, you know what I'm saying, like, you know, my captain has been telling us we need to increase the brotherhood. You understand what I'm saying? We need to increase the brotherhood, and we need to increase our work in this truth. All right, everybody get serious about this truth. Everybody, let's go ahead and strike through. You understand? Salaki to get off topic, but again, so yeah, keeping that unleavened, and you know what? One thing about keeping these feast days, not all of them are easy to keep. Not all, you know, this is a new change. You come from out of the world celebrating your birthdays and Christmas and Halloween and all these other wicked pagan holidays, and you know, you come in the truth and you find out, okay, I got to do this. I can't eat certain bread, and I'm gonna tell you, I may not eat bread. I can go a week. Any other time, I can go a whole week without eating any leavened. You know what I'm saying? Like any other time, it's like it wouldn't be a problem. But as soon as you gotta do it, that's when it start getting real tough. You know, it's just like the Day of Atonement. It's been times where I've went without eating. Before in the day, but I don't know what it is about the Day of Atonement. When that thing roll around and you know you gotta do it, listen, your stomach start talking to you the moment it starts. Soon as sundown start, your moment get you like, dang, good night. I just ate. You know, I made sure I ate a whole feast. You know, just an hour before. I'm supposed to be good. Your stomach start letting you know, nah, you still hungry, and then you got to deal with that for a whole. But you know what? At the end of the day, we do it with a smile on our face because it is our law. You had something, you growing? Go ahead. Get the mic.
Salaki, so I was just finna say them high holy day demons get to talking to you.
Oh man, good night. Right, and look, well, I'm glad you said that. What's so heavy about what the brother just said is, them demons, when them feast days come around, especially the Passover, I'm gonna tell y'all something. That Passover demon is something serious. It's probably the strongest. It gotta be it's like, I hate to use this analogy, but it's almost like in a Game of Thrones, the Night King, that Passover demon is the Night King. The other demons that plague you, you know, like the Day of Atonement, that demon's strong too. But these other demons during these certain feast days and stuff, they strong. They like the dead. They you know what I'm saying? They the night walkers. But that Passover demon, that is the Night King himself. You know, that's an analogy I'm giving. Because I'm telling you right now, that thing be trying to play. Listen, man, you know what I'm saying? If brothers that's in the school understand what I'm saying right now, you know what I'm saying? That demon is going to try its best to stop you from coming to the Passover. You know, and a brother like me and my family, we drive all the way from Texas to New York every year for the Passover. So, and back. And during that, the ride back, it seemed like it's a lot more, it's stressless. You like relieved. Because it don't, you know, on the way going, it seemed like it takes forever to get there. And it's like you're going through an obstacle course. You understand what I'm saying? Like you fight, it is absolutely spiritual. But when you get there, when you finally make it, it just be like, it's like the kingdom. You understand what I'm saying? It's just like, wow, I'm here. We here. Like everybody, you see all the faces, all the happy. It's just so amazing. But you're gonna fight. You're gonna fight to get there. You understand? But you better strike through. You better strike through. You understand? All right. Let's see. Where we at?
Verse 7.
Go ahead.
In the first day you shall have an holy convocation, you shall do no servile work therein.
Mm-hmm.
Verse 8. But ye shall offer an offering made by fire unto the Lord 7 days.
All right, hold on, Salakia. Let's drop down to verse 10.
Come, verse 10. Speak unto the children of Israel, and say unto them, when ye be come into the land which I gave unto you, and shall reap the harvest thereof, then ye shall bring a sheaf of the first fruits of your harvest unto the priest. Verse 11. And he shall wave the sheaf before the Lord, to be accepted for you. On the morrow after the Sabbath, the priest shall wave it. Verse 12. And ye shall offer that day when ye wave the sheaf and he lamb without blemish of the first year for a burnt offering unto the Lord.
So now, the Feast of First Fruits starts right after the Feast of Unleavened Bread. You understand what I'm saying? So the Feast of Unleavened Bread ends on that Friday, Salakia, on that Sabbath. You understand what I'm saying? All right. So now, what you want to do is you actually start the Feast of First Fruit before sundown. You understand? So now it starts then, and it's celebrated. You only celebrate it on the 50th day. All right. So now let's that's the Feast of First Fruits. And this year, so the Feast of Unleavened Bread, okay, we're going to go through the dates that was this year. So the Passover, it's postponed. The Feast of Unleavened Bread was, we had that on April the 10th through April the 17th. The Feast of First Fruits started on April the 17th, and you count 50 days. We only celebrate the 50th day, which is June 5th. That's when we celebrate it, and we started before sundown. Now the next one is actually coming up Thursday, September 17th. You understand? Read on that. Go down to verse 24.
Come, verse 24. Speak unto the children of Israel, saying, in the 7th month, in the first day of the month, shall ye have a Sabbath, a memorial of blowing of trumpets.
Right. So the first day of the 7th month, you understand what I'm saying? So you have a Sabbath. So now, the Sabbath day and a Sabbath is not the same. Is not the same thing, because the Sabbath day is Friday sundown. We already established that. You understand what I'm saying? In the beginning of this chapter, right? Every Friday sundown to Saturday sundown, that's the Sabbath. But every holy convocation is a Sabbath, meaning it's holy. Everybody understands what I'm saying? That doesn't mean it's the Sabbath. So it's a Sabbath, meaning it's separate unto you. You keep these days like you would keep the Sabbath day. You understand what I'm saying? So go ahead, read.
And holy convocation.
You see why it says, read before that again, say a Sabbath again.
Shall ye have a Sabbath, a memorial blowing of the trumpets, and holy convocation.
You see what I'm saying? Salakia. That's why it says holy convocation with that. It is a Sabbath. It's a Sabbath, meaning it's a holy convocation. It's separate unto you. It's not the Sabbath, because we know the Sabbath is that Friday sundown to Saturday sundown, and it's not multiple the Sabbaths in a week. It's only one. You understand what I'm saying? That's every 7 days. The 7th day is the Sabbath of the Lord. All right. Is there some more on that? You read 25?
Come, verse 25. Ye shall do no servile work therein, but ye shall offer an offering made by fire unto the Lord.
All right, no sweat. Okay, now we're going into the Day of Atonement, which is verse 27.
Come, verse 27. Also, on the 10th day of this 7th month, there shall be a day of atonement. It shall be in holy convocation unto you, and ye shall afflict your souls, and offer an offering made by fire unto the Lord. So
now, what happens during the Day of Atonement? We just talked about it. Go ahead.
Afflicting your soul, I guess, not eating or drinking.
Right, that's afflicting your soul, because we all like to eat and drink. We all definitely enjoy that. So when you're going through that Day of Atonement, it's a day to show the Lord, to afflict your souls, you know what I'm saying? So that everybody is on the same boat. We all, it's a sacrifice made unto the Lord. Everybody understands. It's a sacrifice you're making, because everybody loves to eat. One big thing, I know I do. And y'all can look at me and tell. I know my brother Officer Ram loved to eat. You know what I'm saying? We some big boys. We love to eat. And we are definitely afflicting our souls during them days. You understand? That's a tough day for us. You know what I'm saying? But guess what? We have to strike through. You understand? All right. So that's what happens, man. No food, no drink. You understand? And we do that for a day, and we go out to camp, and we do it with a smile on our face, and we be in a blistering sun in Texas. You understand what I'm saying? With no food, no nothing, and guess what? It is glorious. All right. So the next one is the Feast of Tabernacles. We're gonna start at verse 34.
Convocations. Verse 34. Speak unto the children of Israel, saying, the 15th day of this 7th month shall be the Feast of Tabernacles for 7 days.
So the 15th day of this month, and the Day of Atonement is this year is Saturday, September the 26th, 2020. All right, it's the 10th day of the 7th month. So we'll be celebrating that right after we celebrate the memorial blowing of the trumpets. So memorial blowing of the trumpets is the first day of the 7th month. The Day of Atonement is the 10th day of the 7th month. The Feast of Tabernacles, read that again.
The 15th day of this 7th month shall be the Feast of Tabernacles for 7 days unto the Lord.
Keep going.
Verse 35. On the first day shall be in holy convocation. Ye shall do no servile work therein. 36. 7 days ye shall offering made by fire unto the Lord. On the 8th day shall be in holy convocation unto you.
Okay, so what does that mean? What is that saying? So how long are we celebrating the Feast of Tabernacles?
7 days.
Read it again. Read it again.
On the first day shall be in holy convocation. Ye shall do no servile work. 7 days ye shall offer an offering made by fire unto the Lord.
So for 7 days you shall offer. So we know for sure it's 7 days, but keep reading.
On the 8th day shall be in holy convocation unto you.
So how many days are we celebrating this?
1 day.
No. This is all the same. This is still the feast of this still the Feast of Tabernacles.
Oh, it's 9 days.
No.
The first day.
The first day and 7 days after that is still within the 7 days.
Right.
And then the 8 days the Holy Convocation.
Yeah, 8 days.
8 days. That's how long we celebrate the Feast of Tabernacles. All right. Keep reading. Is some more on that?
It is a solemn assembly,
Mm-hmm.
and ye shall do no servile work therein.
Keep going.
37. These are the feasts of the Lord, which ye shall proclaim to be holy convocations, to offer a offering made by fire unto the Lord, a burnt offering and a meat offering, a sacrifice and drink offerings, everything upon this day.
Okay, now I'm going to ask y'all this. Do we still offer these burnt offerings and meat offerings? Yeah, see, I knew I was going to get y'all caught up. I knew it. I had to. I couldn't let it pass. So, do we still offer these meat offerings? If you're watching online too, you can also try to answer this question. Do we still offer these meat offerings and burnt? Read it again, because it does say we had to offer a meat offering, right? Read it again. Verse 37.
Proclaim to be holy convocations.
Start from the top.
These are the feasts of the Lord, which ye shall proclaim to be holy convocations, to offer a offering made by fire unto the Lord, a burnt offering and a meat offering, a sacrifice and drink offerings, everything upon this day.
Now, I'm going to ask again. Do we still offer these type of offerings to the Lord? Do we still sacrifice? Do we still offer meat offerings, burnt offerings? Do we still do that? Are we supposed to still do that? Go ahead.
Con?
We are?
I mean, by cooking it.
Okay, I can understand why you would say that, because I mean, you are the best barbecuer probably in Israel. You understand what I'm saying? But no, you understand what I'm saying? We don't offer these offerings anymore. Why? Because these offerings it's talking about. Okay, like when it says the sacrifice, in burnt offerings and stuff like that, and I need a precept. Yeah, before you raise your hand, your grum, I need a precept. Let me hear what you was going to say, though. Mm-hmm.
Well, just to sum it all up, sir, because the Lord already owns everything.
Say that again?
Because the Lord already owns everything. It's already His.
I mean, everything was his when we was doing it.
True enough.
So he owned everything from the in the beginning. He's owned everything anyway. All right, go ahead, Ron.
I guess because Christ would be our sacrifice.
Yeah, that's absolutely correct. Do you have the precept?
Sir, hold on.
Let me get it for you. Let me get one of them for you.
Well, I'll paraphrase it. The one that when it talks about that we slew and hung on a tree.
Lie. All right, so I'll get one of the precepts where it says, this is Psalms 51. Get 51 and 16 for me.
This is the book of Psalms, chapter 51, verse 16. For thou desirest not sacrifice, else would I give it. Thou delightest not in burnt offering.
Read it one more time.
For thou desirest not sacrifice, else would I give it. Thou delightest not in burnt offering.
You see what I'm saying? For thou desirest not sacrifice, else I would give it. You understand? That is Christianity 101. Why I say that? Because in the world, you was always doing this, right? God forgive me. God forgive me. God forgive me. You know what I'm saying? Like, you will pray. Like, I tell this all the time. You know, ever since I've been teaching this class, I always tell y'all, in the world, listen, I would ask for forgiveness for things that I didn't even do yet. If we were still sacrificing, do you know how many bulls and goats I would have killed for the Lord? I would have had them lined up. I would have just had to have a farm and a whole damn livestock because I was messing up so bad. I'd be like, all right, I'm gonna get you tomorrow. I'm gonna wait for you next week. You a big one. You know, I might do something real bad next week. I'm gonna wait for you. You understand what I'm saying? Like, I was just messing up so bad that I just kill him. I'll kill him before and like, let me go and take your throat. You know what I'm saying? God, now I can go sin because I've already sacrificed that goat for the, you know what I mean? Like, that's why, read it one more time. This is why Psalms are saying this.
For thou desirest not sacrifice, else would I give it.
Thou desirest not sacrifice, else would I give it. Who wouldn't? Like, think about it. If you would forgive me if I just sacrifice something, shoot, I'll go to the wilderness right now. I go out into the woods. I go into somebody's zoo and slit the throat of a goat if I need to. You understand what I'm saying? If you'll take that, I will happily give it to you. But keep reading.
Thou delightest not in burnt offering.
But you don't really want these sacrifices. You don't want these burnt offerings. The Lord doesn't want that. Keep reading.
Come, verse 17. The sacrifices of God are a broken spirit, a broken and a contrite heart. O power, thou wilt not despise.
So those are the sacrifices that the Lord wants. The Lord wants you to just, follow these laws and do what He tell you to do. He wants you to be humble. You know what I'm saying? Have that broken spirit, meaning you ready to get right. You understand what I'm saying? Now I give you the other precept that I was looking for. It's Hebrews 9 and 13.
This is the book of Hebrews, chapter 9, verse 13. For if the blood of bulls and of goats and the ashes of an heifer sprinkling the unclean sanctify to the purifying of the flesh. Verse 14, how much more shall the blood of Christ, whom through the eternal Spirit offered himself without spot to God, purge your conscience from dead works to serve the living God. Verse 15, and for this cause he is the mediator of the New Testament,
right?
That by means of death, for the redemption of transgressions that were under the first testament, they which are called might receive the promise of eternal inheritance.
You understand? That's why, that's what it's about right there. Christ dying for us. He's the ultimate sacrifice. What now? What could what boat? What goat or bull can be more sufficient than Christ? You tell me. What goat or bull is more greater than Christ? His sacrifice that he gave us. Nobody you can't tell me? Nobody. Nothing. His sacrifice was the greatest sacrifice that could be made for us. So why would you in turn try to sacrifice a bull when the Lord don't? That bull, my son gave his life. You understand what I'm saying? My only begotten son. He gave his life. So what is a bull or a goat going to do compared to Christ? You had something, you're growing? Yeah, we just read that. No, we read we just read Psalms 51 and what? Let me see. Right. Yeah, you gotta be paying attention now. Let me make sure. Right, exactly. Psalms 51 and 16 and 17. You understand? The Lord he don't want those burnt offerings because can't nothing suffice more than Christ. You understand what I'm saying? Christ gave his life for us. So now, going back to what we was reading in Leviticus, verse 37, it says, "These are the feasts of the Lord, which ye shall proclaim to be holy convocations, to offer an offering made by fire unto the Lord, a burnt offering and a meat offering, a sacrifice and drink offerings, everything upon this day." Now, okay, the meat offering and the drink offerings I'll get clarity on that. I don't want to teach that it is the food that we cooking. I believe because I know when it talks about the meat offering that talk about fried chicken, I know that's talking about cooking it for sure because it tells you to put it in the pan and mingle it with oil and flour, and that's a meat offering. So based on that scripture, I would say if the context is the same, I would say that this meat offering is what you said. You will be accurate when you say, that smell of that barbecue going up to that barbecue chicken, going up to the Lord, you understand? Because it definitely is glorious. That food you cook is glorious. And I know the Lord definitely smells it. You understand what I'm saying? It is definitely like incense to his nose. The angels smell it and come back and telling the Lord, "Hey, Salakia, sir, if I could. That brother down there, like Officer Ram, he just got raised up to Officer 500. That brother right there, I don't know. When he powered up, his cooking powered up because it's like the food is just off the chain. You understand? And that so I'll get clarity. I would definitely talk to Captain Yatazak about it and just to verify if that is a meat offering. And then it says drink offerings. So if that's a meat offering, then you could say when brothers sit around and drink the wine and drink that's a drink offering. But again, like I said, I'm not gonna teach it. I will get clarity on it, and then I'll have that for y'all next week. All right, but it based off of the meat oblation scripture with the fried chicken, then because that definitely was a meat offering. The scripture said it. All right, so yeah, I'll just remind me on that. I'll get with him and then I'll have an answer for you next week, Lord willing. All right, but we know the sacrifice, the Lord don't want that, and He don't want the burnt. He don't want the burnt offerings, which is what they were doing, the incenses and stuff like that. He don't want that. All right. And it is safe to say, because in Psalms 51, it doesn't say He won't take burnt meat offerings or drink offerings. It doesn't say that. It specifically says He doesn't. It says, I will read it. It says Psalms 51 and 16. It says, "For thou desirest not sacrifice." He's specific. It said He don't want sacrifice. That's because you can't sacrifice nothing that's more crucial than Christ. You understand what I'm saying? And then it says, "Else would I give it, thou delightest not in burnt offering." Now, it didn't say nothing about meat offering. You know what I'm saying? So I just will, but I'll get clarity on that. You know what I'm saying? 'Cause in the UPK, we don't teach something that we're not 100% sure of. All right? Where we at with it? Let's go to 1 Maccabees chapter 4, verse 52.
Convocations. This is the book of 1 Maccabees, chapter 4, verse 52. Now on the 25th day of the 9th month, which is called the month Caslu, in the 148th year, they rose up bedtimes in the morning.
Okay, it says B times. So
B
now
times,
on
so
the
it's like-
25th day of the 9th month, start from there again.
Convocations. In the 9th month, which is called the month Caslu, in the 148th year, they rose up betimes in the morning,
Mm-hmm.
and offered sacrifice according to the law upon the new altar of burnt offerings which they had made.
Mm-hmm.
Verse 54. Look, at what time and what day of the heathen had profaned it. Even in that was it dedicated with songs and citherns and harps and cymbals.
Mm-hmm.
Verse 55. Then all the people fell upon their faces, worshiping and praising the God of heaven, who had given them good success.
Mm-hmm.
Verse 56.
So the Lord is, so they're praising the Most High for, you know what I'm saying, like coming through. The Lord always strike through. Let's make that very clear. When we are celebrating and we are doing what we're supposed to do, following our high holy days and following what we're supposed to do, the Lord definitely strike through for us. That's why we need him to strike through now in this oppression. But he's not going to do it if we're not following the law, statutes, and commandments. You understand? Mainly, this is a part of it. You know, like it's something simple as keeping the feast days, keeping the high holy days, the holy convocations. We can't do something this simple. So that's why the Lord not going to, strike through. But anyway, keep reading, Salakia.
Convocations, verse 56. And so they kept the dedication.
They kept the what?
They kept the dedication.
So this is the Feast of Dedication. That's why we call it the Feast of Dedication. Also, a.k.a. Feast of what?
Purim.
La'ah. You know it, Yugram? The Feast of Dedication, also Hakanaka. Go ahead, keep reading.
And so they kept the dedication of the altar 8 days, and offered burnt offerings with gladness, and sacrificed the sacrifice of deliverance and praise.
All right, so now drop down to 59.
Convocations, verse 59. Moreover, Judas and his brethren with the whole congregation of Israel ordained that the days of the dedication of the altar should be kept in their season from year to year.
From year to year, meaning this should be kept year to year. You understand? These laws, like the laws endure forever. And this is something for you, for these New Testament, wannabe Israelites, fake Christians, Christian church, talking about we don't keep, we don't follow those old traditions. It says it's supposed to be kept from what? Year to what?
Kept year to year.
Year to year, every single year. You understand what I'm saying? Ain't nowhere in the Bible says we don't supposed to keep these days no more. Keep going.
By the space of 8 days.
So by the space of 8 days. So this is what we celebrate. We celebrate the Feast of Dedication for 8 days. Go ahead.
Convocations. From the 25th day of the month Caslu, with mirth and gladness. Verse 60.
All right, so that's good on that. You understand? So that's the Feast of Dedication, a.k.a. Hakanaka. You understand what I'm saying? We celebrate that. And I also forgot to get the Feast of Tabernacles date. It is Thursday, October 1st, and Friday, October 9th, 2020. Right before sundown, Feast of Dedication, Hakanaka is on the 25th day of the 9th month by the space of 8 days. Wednesday, December 9th, 2020. We celebrated for 8 days. All right. Now, give me Esther. Give me Esther chapter 9, verse 20. No sweat. All right, so yeah, and after we get this one, we're gonna end it out with that. But make sure, I ain't gonna wait till the end of class, so make sure y'all know that we are celebrating the memorial blowing of the trumpets coming up right here on September the 17th. I believe that might be next week. No, actually, we got a couple weeks. We still got a couple weeks, but y'all keep that on your mind. The memorial blowing of the trumpets, we will be celebrating that on Thursday, September 17th, 2020, right here at 7701 Belfort Avenue, Houston, Texas, 77061. That's 7701 Belfort Avenue, Houston, Texas, 77061. That is the location of our school. And you can actually come any night. We have class every day, you understand what I'm saying? But on September the 17th, 2020, that's when we're going to be celebrating the memorial blowing of the trumpets. All right, you got that? Esther chapter 9, verse 20.
Come on, this is the book of Esther, chapter 9, verse 20. And Mordecai wrote these things and sent letters unto all the Jews that were in all the provinces of the kings Ahasuerus, both nigh and far. 21. To establish this among them, that they should keep the 14th day of the month Adar and the 15th day, same, yearly.
So how long?
The 14th day and the 15th day of the same, yearly.
Yearly. Every year we supposed to keep this. The 14th day and the 15th day of the 12th month. We keep this yearly. Keep going.
Verse 22. As the days wherein the Jews rested from their enemies, and the month which was turned unto from them from sorrow to joy.
Right, so that's why we celebrate it, because it says, as the days wherein the Jews rested from their enemies, and the month which was turned unto them from sorrow to joy. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, this is all, these feast days signify times where we conquered our enemies. Why wouldn't we want to celebrate them? But instead, you'd rather celebrate July 4th when you was a slave. That's sorrows. You're supposed to celebrate means to be happy, to celebrate something. Like, to celebrate something means it's a good thing. Why would you celebrate being in slavery? Does that even make sense? That don't even make sense. Keep reading.
And from mourning into a good day, that they should make them days of feasting and joy.
Make these days of feasting and joy, because we conquered our enemies, man. That's what this is about. All right, now go down to verse 31.
Verse 31. To confirm these days of Purim.
Of what?
Purim.
Of what?
Of Purim.
This is the feast of Purim. You understand? To confirm these days of Purim, go ahead.
In their times appointed, according as Mordecai the Jew and Esther the queen had enjoined them, and as they had decreed for themselves and for their seed, the matters of the fastings and their cry. Verse 32. And the decree of Esther confirmed these matters of Purim, and it was written in the book.
All right, so now, that's the Feast of Purim. So we went through all the feast days we went through the Sabbath, the Passover, the Feast of Unleavened Bread. So I'm going to go through all these dates again one more time. You understand what I'm saying, before we close it out. But first I'm going to say the Feast of Purim is on the 14th and 15th day of the 12th month, Thursday, February 25th, and Friday, February 26th, 2021. You understand? Salakia. Right, yeah. So that's the beginning of the year, next year. You understand what I'm saying? And we read that in Esther chapter 9, verse 20. So I'm going to go over these high holy convocations for the 2021 calendar real quick before I end it out. Did anyone have any questions on the matter before I do that? Y'all straight on that? Y'all got that in y'all notes? Make sure y'all understand Leviticus chapter 23 is very important. It is our law. It's very important to keep these days, You understand what I'm saying? All right, so the first thing is the Sabbath, Friday sundown until Saturday sundown, the seventh day of every week. Sundown begins a new day. All right? You find that in Genesis chapter 2, verse 3, and Exodus chapter 20, verse 8 through 11, and in Leviticus chapter 23, verse 3. Passover, 14th day of the first month. Thursday, we had that, it was supposed to be Thursday, April the 9th, 2020, but it was postponed. You can find that in Exodus chapter 12, verse 1 through 51, Leviticus chapter 23, verse 4 and 5, 1 Corinthians chapter 5, verse 7 and 8, and 2 Chronicles chapter 30, verse 17. It's very important that you guys get these scriptures. I will be, quizzing y'all on these at the end of the month. So just know it's very important to have these scriptures. All right? Especially officers that's in class, especially troopers that read these, that see these all the time. Y'all should have these in your, whoever's doing the security announcement should definitely have a copy of these. So make sure you study that. All right. Where we at? Feast of Unleavened Bread, 15th day of the first month for 7 days. Friday, April the 10th, and Friday, April the 17th, 2020 at sundown. Exodus chapter 12, verse 17 through 20, and Leviticus chapter 23, 6 through 8. Feast of First Fruits starts after the Sabbath, unleavened bread. Sundown Friday, April 17th, 2020. You count 50 days. We only celebrate the 50th day. That'll be Friday. That was Friday, June the 5th, 2020. And we start right before sundown. You can find that in Leviticus chapter 23, verse 10 through 22. Again, that's Leviticus chapter 23, verse 10 through 22. Memorial blowing of the trumpets, again. And this is going to be announced in the security announcements again, by the way. This is coming up again on, it's the first day of the 7th month. It's coming up on Thursday, September 17th, 2020, right here, 7701 Belford Avenue, Houston, Texas, 77061. If you are in a different city or state, make sure you get with the head of that state and the UPK and find out exactly where that school location is and find out when, where they're going to be having that at. You understand? So that's what you need to do. The Day of Atonement. Oh, you can find that in Leviticus chapter 23, verse 24 and 20 through 25. The Day of Atonement. The 10th day of the 7th month, Saturday, September 26, 2020. You can find that in Leviticus chapter 23, verse 27 through 32. So most of these are found in Leviticus except for the Feast of Dedication and the Feast of Purim. Anyway, Feast of Tabernacles, 15th day of the 7th month for 8 days, Thursday, October 1st, and Friday, October 9th, 2020. Start right before sundown. Leviticus chapter 20. You can find it in Leviticus chapter 23, verse 34 through 44. The Feast of Dedication, we just went over that. 25th day of the 9th month by the space of 8 days, Wednesday, December 9th, 2020 for 8 days. You can find that in 1 Maccabees chapter 4, verse 52, in the Apocrypha, through verse 61. Purim, 14th day and the 15th day of the 12th month, Thursday, February 25th, and Friday, February 26th, 2021. You can find that in Esther chapter 9, verse 20 through 31. Make sure y'all get these days. Again, most of them are in Leviticus chapter 23, but Purim is in Esther, and the Feast of Dedication, you can find that in the Maccabees. All right? With that, make sure you pay your tithes to the men of the Lord. We'll do a brief review over this next week just to kind of make sure we good with it. The goal is to try to get these down without having to go through your notes. So make sure y'all study, man. The scripture says study to show thyself approved. All right? And just to reiterate what the brother's question earlier, talking about the new moon. So the new moon does signify a new month, and based off the moon, that's how we kind of determine the months. So that's how we know when is the first month, and based off that first month, we know where to go from there. You understand what I'm saying? We know how to get the Passover, what day is the Passover. We know what day is the Feast of Unleavened Bread, and so on and so forth, based off of that, the months. All right, so that's to answer that question again. So make sure you pay your tithes to the men of the Lord and the ISUPK. Go to www.isupk.com, click the donation link. Understand, make sure you pay that 10% to the Lord, man. Pay it to the priests and prophets. Commander General Hanna does amazing things with that money. He makes sure all his schools are sufficient and running like a well-oiled machine. So make sure you support this truth, support black businesses. You understand what I'm saying? All right, with that, who doing the security announcements? All right, with that, I'm going to pass the class over to Trooper Yagrum for the security announcements. Make sure you turn that for him. No, you good. You go to read the announcements. You got them? You don't have your phone?
They somewhere in my phone.
You need this out. No sweat.
These are the ISUPK security announcements. We are the ISUPK, started out of 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York. Rule for new brother and sister. When a new brother or sister comes into the school, they are off limits for 6 months. They are to be saluted only. They are here to shed themselves of the world. If they need transportation, the teacher will arrange it. After 6 months, if a brother or a sister has interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from the head to speak to a brother or sister. There is another 6 months in which the brother and sister will court each other. After this 6-month period, the brother and sister will get permission from the head to marry. Tithes, which is a commandment. The book of Numbers, chapter 18, verse 21, and the book of Malachi, chapter 3, verses 8 through 10. Ma'asharah, which means 10% in Hebrew. 10% of every penny of any increase the Lord gives you. Give to the treasury department or teacher. Priest fund, free will offering for priests, not mandatory. Whatsoever amount you would like. Up and coming holy convocations. The memorial of blowing of trumpets. First day of the 7th month, Thursday, September 17th, 2020. The book of Leviticus, chapter 23, verses 24 and 25. Rule for new brother and sister. If any brother would like to be a trooper, become a student in the ISUPK, come in all black shirt, black headband, black pants, and black boots. And this concludes the security announcements.
All right, with that, Amajim, which means to stand. We're going to give one courtesy salute to the brothers. Men of Israel, Amajim Shabbat, Amajim, Barak, Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shah Barakatah, Yazamatah, Sar. We're going to give one courtesy salute to the sisters. Men of Israel, Amajim Shabbat, Amajim, Barak, Yahweh Shemal Atah Ba Hashem Yahweh Shah, Yazamatah, dismiss. Hey, make sure you put them back up here.